Hello boys, my name is Koyoshi and welcome back to my blind playthrough, or rather just regular playthrough of Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. And yes, I definitely got that correct. Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle for the Nintendo Switch, not the sequel, by the way, the original game. We left off in the World 1, Ancient Gardens, and we cleared through level 8 of World 1 in that video. And we'll start by trying to get some upgrades. Fortunately, we cannot get one here. We'll go ahead and get Rabbid Peach's Sentry, so she at least has a Sentry, since she can't really do much with her healing. Later, I'll probably remove that, though, when there are more orbs to use. Luigi hasn't unlocked all of his yet, but he doesn't have enough to unlock it. The reason why I waited a bit on Luigi, and that's because we get a very important upgrade from him, Itchy Feet, which makes all of our movement just go up a lot, which is actually really helpful for some later battles. However, unfortunately, we're not going to be using a Luigi in this battle. As you might have noticed, this is a boss battle, and Luigi does not have much health, so for this battle, I am going to go back to my original team, just because I find it to be much safer. On top of that, Rabbid Luigi has a really nice skill that just comes in handy for this battle, and I'd like to be able to use it right away. Of course, it's not guaranteed it'll actually fame, but it can help out a lot. He also just has way more HP. Now that he's in the battle, we'll go ahead and buy this weapon that we didn't equip for him earlier, because he has a really cool pattern you can just kind of fire from long range, which is nice. Anyway, we left off going through a couple of our chapters, but then we found this rabbit skeleton. Why is that here? Well, that's because this is the boss battle of World 1 that I was going to save until later. So, yeah, here we go. This also unlocks the side content, which we already showed, which was the Donkey Kong Adventure thing. And if you know about that, then you probably already know what boss is coming up. Anyways, before we deal with that, we have to deal with, oh yes, Bowser Jr. again. Minjer, who always messes things up in Super Mario Sunshine and all sorts of other games. Hey, stay away from him. I see what's going on here. You want to use this little fellow's special talents for yourself. Well, I saw him first. He and all of his special talents are mine, and this is where the storyline gets really messed. Because we finally got up to Spiny only for Bowser Jr. to just take him. Oh yeah, and by the way, this he is still regular magic. And the reason why I know that is because Bowser Jr. says that he will call him Spawny. And so now this character is forever going to be called Spawny for the rest of the playthrough. So now you know. You want to help me teach these wimps a lesson, Spawny? Huh, my papa's going to be so impressed when he gets back from vacation. So yeah. Sure enough, that trick actually works, and Bowser Jr. just kind of runs off with a friend. And you, Mario, you must be exhausted after all those battles. Take this, it'll give you some much-needed energy. Before I go, Spawny and I would like to introduce you to a new friend of ours. He's the top banana around here. And there he comes. Radicon. So if you're wondering why I mentioned that specific storyline locks after this world, that's because the boss we are facing is Rabbids, effectively a Rabbid version of Donkey Kong. Still likes bananas, just like Donkey Kong does. Now, like the other storylines, we only have to defeat the regular boss. However, there are also henchmen to worry about too, and unfortunately, these henchmen are quite annoying. And by the way, this right here is why you cannot do this game with no damage. Even if you avoided other attacks, you will always be dealt 10 damage here every single time. There is no way to skip this at all. So if you thought you could do this game without taking even a single point of damage, well, you are all wrong. Unfortunately, you won't be able to do it because the game does not let you do that beyond this point. Basically, the gist of it is, yeah, if you're trying to do like a no damage playthrough, your playthrough would automatically end here because he always does that attack every single turn, and you cannot skip it. And just so you don't get any ideas, you attack this boss at all before he hits his bananas or whatever. He will immediately eat them and recover health, but you kind of need him to at least once, because otherwise he won't actually do anything. Thankfully, that's pretty easy to fix. We'll just have Rabbids see them right away. You could technically move before that, but I think if you don't do this, it will actually, like, really mess things up. So we'll go ahead and use our long-range weapon just to show what happens. And yes, you have to, I think, do this at least once, otherwise it won't work. But anyways, as you already noticed, if we hit him at all, and his bananas are not removed, or rather, while he has bananas, he will automatically heal up for all of his HP every time. So that's a really lot. Thankfully, the boss himself doesn't actually do that much damage, all things considered. In fact, he doesn't really do much damage at all. The biggest problem is his minions. He has a lot of Ziggies around, and he summons more minions in between each battles. The first 2 rounds, we're going to want to take out these minions right away. I'm not going to use the shield, because there's not really many enemies around. But anyways, this guy has 2 different things he can do, and they're pretty much at random. He'll either make everyone jump forward a bit, the bounce attack, that's his main thing he does. Sometimes he won't do that at all, and then other times he'll just move and do nothing. It seems to be random what he actually does. The idea, though, is we have to do enough damage to him. The main reason we use the sentry unit is actually because, as you might have guessed, sentry units are their own entity completely, meaning that they will actually be able to just trigger the effect on their own, and it doesn't matter what it does. They'll be able to use that. I think this is closer to him, yeah, so we'll be able to hit him from here. Okay, I'm not sure if we're going to take him out right away. Regardless, we're going to use our super barrier anyway, though. Mario does need to stay behind cover, at least partially. Unfortunately, we don't have a good way to do that. So I guess we'll do it. We'll focus on doing damage to this boss at first. Thankfully, there is a lot of HP. Thankfully, sure enough, I did not finish him off in one turn. Anyway, thankfully, these boss battles allow you to take a lot of turns before finishing. By the way, that's the main reason for the super barrier, is Rabbids just becomes completely immune to that. Alright, I want to actually set up the characters a little bit. Maybe not Mario, but at least one of the characters, Rabbids behind cover so that they can attack right away. But I'll go ahead and at least make him go to the next part. Now, unfortunately, bosses don't die easily. By the way, that is why I moved Rabbids behind cover, because every time he moves, he automatically does more damage. He also automatically bounces you back after that attack too. So that means it takes a long time to actually remove all this stuff. And it can get really tricky after a while. And also after the second 3 turns or so, we think, he also starts adding in more extra attacks, which just make him more annoying. Real talk though, this boss actually doesn't put up much of a fight. He's just more annoying than anything. The fact that he heals it alone makes him a very annoying threat, but probably his most annoying thing is the fact that he does have that automatic bounce, meaning he will always bounce you back. Okay, unfortunately, we do not have a way to get to him right away. I actually probably should have moved Rabbid Peach closer. I keep forgetting about that, but that's fine. This battle is a lot to out, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, thankfully 2 of our characters just straight up avoided the cover thing. Alright. And, ooh, that's right, our phase still moves. Okay, the biggest thing we have to do between each phase, though, is we need to make sure that we move. Not only remove his bananas consistently, but we also have to defeat all the minions. The third ones don't really matter as much later, but particularly these first set of minions, especially, you definitely want to kill them right away. If you don't do this right away, it can be a really big problem later. I did try doing it without it once, and I actually lost a character doing that, which I normally don't lose a character to this boss, so yeah, that's a little bit sad, but what can you do sometimes? I'm just gonna leave you behind cover. Same spot as always. Okay, since there is an enemy in range, we'll go ahead and use our new weaken power-up to weaken them. Alright, since he's not dead yet. Actually, no way. Last time I dealt with this boss, I messed up because he did die moment. So I'm gonna go, since that enemy's weakened, I'm just gonna attack right away because, as you might have noticed, this enemy has a melee attack too. Thankfully, if it uses its melee attack, it does not do any extra damage. But damage, or rather uses bounce attack, but that does still mean that it does a lot of damage. We're gonna focus on, actually for safety, probably use Mario's attack to finish off this enemy first. Because that's probably, oh, actually, no. There's no reason to do that, especially since we can just do this instead. And I guess we'll do Rabbid Luigi over here, so he's set up for the attack later. He'll be able to probably defeat us after that. Since he's behind that barrier, we won't need to do anything. Now we're just gonna let the remaining characters fire at this guy right away. Ooh, because we got 2 crits, we ended him a turn early. And yes, you can do crits on this guy too, so that can make the thing sometimes end a turn early. But by the way, that's a cool effect you can do. That was not unintentional, by the way. That was actually intended. If you put Rabbid Peach behind cover, or pretty much any character behind cover in that particular moment for some reason, then the characters won't actually get knocked back at all. In fact, they won't get knocked back at all. They'll just move and then just kind of do nothing. I'm not going to do anything to this guy because that's just going to waste my time. Especially considering we can't do anything to him now. Probably easier to just pass the turn to the enemies, honestly. We might still do the stash attack. Thankfully, it is somewhat limited range, so as you saw there, Mario is able to avoid it. Alright. Now we have a Smasher, and this is where the real problem starts. Thankfully, we can skip this Smasher. We don't actually have to beat it. We can just beat the boss to finish off the setup, so at this point, I'm actually just going to start firing on him. Because that's probably easier. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I had to hit the bananas first. That's an easier state to make with this boss, especially considering you're still having a boss that can heal, you know, and unfortunately we don't have a way to counteract that now. Tell you what, I changed my mind. I'm gonna take out the Smasher because we don't really have much of a choice. like I said, it's very easy to win the battle without taking out the Smasher. My actual intended plan was to just hit the bananas early with Rabbid and Luigi, although I probably, if I had known that better, I probably would have moved Mario instead, or actually had Luigi. So I did intentionally not have a Luigi because, well, he had more health, but Luigi is somewhat helpful in this battle, if you know how to use them right. Okay, well, since I can't really do much else, I'm gonna have to just move Rabbid Peach pretty much as close as I can get her to that. Since we can't do anything, I guess we'll just go ahead and just smash her on the spot, or at least attempt to. This is the main reason why I don't want to usually deal with this enemy, because it does do a lot of damage. We'll just go ahead and put the super barrier since we're about to take another strike. So, we'll pop both of our barriers on. Alright. Well, at least he can't be knocked back. That's a good thing. Oh gosh. That might have messed us up. Okay, nope. Okay, he survived by 11 health. See, if that was a Luigi, he would have died already. Alright, so we have someone I asked to take this time, so we're gonna make Rabbid Peach do it this time. Yeah, now if I was sorry, I would have moved one character right over to just immediately deal with this thing. Okay, well, now we're in a good spot. We're just gonna move Luigi behind cover so he doesn't take any damage. So that was a little bit scarier, but now we don't really have any enemies to deal with other than Khan himself, so thankfully the battle's pretty much over at this point. He also doesn't really have much, so it's not going to be that hard. You just have to pass the turn one more time, and since this is battle, they'll let us do a couple more turns. Anyway, yeah. And that's it. Now we just fire on him one more time. He should be done. Or not. Alright. Rabbid, Mario, you're, let's let you finish it off. There we go. As you might have guessed, not really that hard of a fight once you know what you're doing. The biggest thing is you don't actually want to focus on him right away. You actually want to focus on his henchmen. Whereas that previous battle, we can kind of just ignore them. Like, on the mid-boss, we could have easily ignored the Z's and just focused straight on Prod and Prant right away in the mid-boss that we did. This boss is pretty much the opposite. We want to take out all of his minions first and then beat him later, because that makes it easier to finish them. Anyway, Rabbid Peach kind of causes a big chaos, which causes to just kind of fall off in the abyss. And then she has the tenacity to just take pictures of it as if nothing ever happened, and that's the end of the very first world of the game, guys. The reason why I'm going to be separating these world encounters into one at a time, because obviously the last one will be the final boss, and the second is because, well, some of these bosses are long. They might take more than one try to defeat, so yeah, we definitely want to be careful. The tip of the whip that tames the beast is the very face of Aphrodite itself. Gentlemen, it is clear we must rescue Spawny from the clutches of Bowser Jr. before he can destroy what's left of the Mushroom Kingdom forever. I say we adjourn to Princess Peach's castle for a series of breakout sessions, during which we shall workshop solutions in a safe, open environment. In our words, let's get moving. There we go. As you see, very long turn counter, so you don't really have to worry about any turn counter. Most of the actual problems of the cell is just trying to survive. Oh, and each time you defeat a boss, you get extra medals on top of the normal medals you get. And then your HP just gets upgraded permanently. This is actually the reason why we're our characters a certain way, because our team ranks up, and so our hero's health increases permanently. We also get access to new things, like new weapons. We gain extra coins by I mean, the chapters you've already cleared to improve your Vikings to get extra coins, that we will be potentially doing later on some other battles, because I did mention we are trying to get all the battles with a golden rating. And then there's challenges. We're not going to beat them yet. And then there's the Buddy Dome Laboratory locked. Play exclusive co-op battles, or you can do DLC campaigns or other stuff. And this also apparently has a side effect of unlocking the multiplayer. So the game doesn't just have a co-op, it has a multiplayer as well. Multiplayer versus as well. For some reason, that and this DLC storyline are all unlocked behind completing Ancient Gardens. So sorry folks who just wanted to do the multiplayer, but you'll have to defeat first. Interesting, the Rabbids have built a new structure since we are here last. My sensors detect that this is a place of friendship and cooperation, not to mention hours of fun. We should go inside. Seriously, for once, I have a good feeling about something. We should go. Alright. Anyway, enough of that. We're done with the first world. I just had to mention that because, yeah, you get some cool upgrades for finishing each world, so we definitely want to prioritize finishing worlds over doing other stuff. Did you see that? I think you can move certain blocks now. I knew I was a lot stronger than I looked. With this ability, we may be able to reach an entirely new area within the Mushroom Kingdom. Alright. Or backtrack to the Ancient Gardens and reach previously inaccessible areas. Street the Ken so we can choose where to launch to. According to my sources, Bowser Jr. was last seen head towards the Serpent Geyser. Let's follow him and retrieve her Spawny. Not to the move action. Set blocks that block your way. Donkey Kong Adventure a lot. Yeah, see, this is the thing I mentioned. Donkey Kong's Adventure is now playable. It's like a tropic vacation, only with danger looking around every corner. And Red Peach, for some reason, is still here. Co-op mode is standard. Play new co-op battles with friend. And also talks about DLC. And we can talk to Peach if we wanted to. Sorry, Mario. In some ways, Bowser Jr. is even worse than his father. Yeah. Alright, well, I mentioned we should check the Buddy Dome, so we'll at least look at that. Welcome to another edition of Buddy Dome. This is Buddy Dome. You and a friend each control a team of 2 heroes. They'll work together to complete a campaign involving lots of challenge. Hint, you unlock campaigns by finishing a world in story mode. All skills and weapons you unlocked in story mode will avail to you. Visit Battle HQ to get your teams ready. Obviously, we're not doing that, but I had to at least activate that to show you that that was there. We are not going to be doing that in any of the episodes because, in case you haven't noticed, I don't really have a friend to record with, so that wouldn't really work out too well. And on top of that, this is going to focus on most of the actual, like, main stuff in the game. Like, not just main stuff, like the stuff that you can do solo, not the co-op stuff. If you want to find co-op stuff, go ahead and check out somewhere else or somewhere else in the game. I'm sure there will be some people that do the co-op stuff. And also, I guess we could technically get around it. It mentions you have to do the co-op stuff, but you know what? If we get enough videos, I will be able to get a way to do around it. So you are supposed to play those things with a friend in case you haven't noticed already, but there is a trick. If we get enough comments or likes on videos, then I will actually do the DLC parts. After I've finished off, well, actually beating the main game and Donkey Kong Adventure, I'll actually go back and do the DLC team setup, except I'll be controlling both players at once. It's a little bit cheap though, so if you want to see a better line, then just go and check something else. Of course, since it's not part of the main game, I'm not going to be prioritizing that, but just note that if we get likes, perhaps we might do this after all. Anyway. Yeah, alright then. I just thought I would mention that because if anybody wants to ask about potentially doing the co-op campaigns, maybe. Won't be doing true co-op because, like, I don't actually have another person to play with, so it'd be really awkward to record and set up. But technically do it by myself if I wanted to. And I, of course, would do this controlling both characters simultaneously. So this is technically still a strategy game. You can do this, no problem, and honestly, it's not that big of a deal. It's actually probably how most people do it anyway. Anyways, we'll go ahead and walk the way to Sherbert Land. I don't know why this is what it's called, even though it's both a desert and desert and an ice area at the same time, so it's kind of weird. Okay, there is one other thing I want to explore. Since this is our first time exploring Peach's casual area a little bit more fully, we definitely want to explore most of it. Because one feature we also get access to is Amiibos. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be showing that because I don't have any Amiibos that unlock stuff. Essentially, these unlock just new specific character icons, but to get it, you have to scan in Amiibos. I don't want to be too cheap though, so I'm not going to be using Amiibo in this run. I know I usually do try to show off everything, including Amiibo uses, but sad as it is, I don't actually have the Amiibos. Which is kind of surprising, because I am a big Amiibo collector myself, and I have collected quite a bit of that, but also, the main reason I delayed so long is because, well, yeah, I wanted to lock that gate because, yeah, that was a gate that needed unlocking. So yeah, we did that. Alright, well, we're pretty much almost done. There's only a couple more things I want to do now. Probably should have actually gone to the Battle Laboratory first and purchased upgrades. Especially since we can't do it unless we go in the menu, but yeah, whatever. Since there's already a I've decided I'm gonna do other stuff. I like how the first part of the video was just me, oh, we're doing the boss battle. Now the second part is like, oh, we're just running around Peach's castle for no reason, but I promise you we're almost done. Sorry, the only reason I mentioned having all the extra stuff, by the way, is because the game is massively large. It actually has a lot more content than I initially thought. Also, just to set up for our next video, we'll go ahead and change back to the team we had before. Because this time I think Luigi is actually going to be very important later. Alright. So I'm going to focus on upgrading the characters who actually need upgrades first. Because try as we might, our super weapon is not going to carry us for the entire game. So we are going to give Peach the ability first. And for now, we'll just upgrade each of the characters' main weapons up. You're going to get Bounce, Luigi, and then Mario is last. He's gonna get the honey weapon. We'll at least keep the honey weapon, so we can at least have that as an option. Not gonna upgrade his secondary cell yet. We might get something stronger later. Then we need to upgrade abilities like Empower, which is like basically a super power-up. Basically like an attack damage power-up. And then I guess we'll go ahead and get this for now, since there's not gonna really be much each is gonna do otherwise. And then Luigi, you're gonna lock your ability. And he's gonna lock his ability. And then each character is basically going to go down their own path. Luigi's mostly just going to be focusing on movement. Honestly, if it turns out we're ready to strive by one chapter, we could probably fix that. For now, we'll set it up like this. Right, well, with that in mind, guys, alright, hope you guys, I hope you guys weren't too worried of this video taking a little bit long, but don't worry, we've made it through now. With that, it's finally time to end the episode, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video where we dive into a new world in the next episode. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye.